When you're on the journey to achieving your goals and dreams and living the life you've been aspiring for a long time, it's crazy the amount of distractions and funny things that can happen, ain't it? Although it's easy to sometimes fall for it, this is the time that you really need to focus, double down, and actually make sure that you don't let anyone or anything get in the way of you finally achieving your goals. You need to keep your best interest at heart throughout this journey and be a little selfish. So here are 5 things you absolutely need to avoid on your journey to becoming successful. Number 1, negativity. When I say negativity, I mean anything negative that can be draining you mentally, physically or emotionally, whether that's people, certain environments or situations, or even thoughts that are holding you back. This is definitely not the time and place for negativity, since it's something that will take from you, and for you to be able to focus on your goals, you need a clear mind, a healthy and strong body, and the heart and resilience to push through even when things get difficult. But negativity will only make you prone to having and doing the opposite. Being around negative people will entice you to have negative thoughts and behave and act negatively. Even if they're your friends, being around negative people who only have bad things to say, who always moan and complain and have a victim mindset, will only influence and impact you negatively, as the energy that we're around is always contagious. Being around drama and problems have the same effect. It's also important to not have a negative mindset either. Being optimistic whilst also being realistic puts you in a much better vehicle on the road to success rather than thinking negatively. It's actually a scientific fact that the more you think negatively and find negative things to focus on, the more negative things you'll find and the more negative you'll feel. So imagine if you were to do the opposite. This will overall just put you in a better frame of mind to focus on accomplishing the tasks you have at hand, as opposed to having negative thoughts that can cloud your judgment and can make you suffer from self-doubt. Number 2, the wrong company. This partially ties in with the first point in a sense that being in the wrong company, or in other words, people that influence you in a bad way and are very pessimistic towards things, isn't in your best self-interest. Being in the wrong company can also mean just being around people that always want to chill, hang out and have fun, and although this ain't always a bad thing, it doesn't exactly motivate or push you to working towards your goals either, but rather just serves as a temptation for distraction. Being in the wrong company can also mean being around people that just put you down or don't reciprocate the same energy and effort that you give them, or even around people who have goals and intentions that do not align with yours. For example, if you want to get in good shape, learn and grow and become more intelligent, build a 7-figure business and your social network, and progress in your career and so on and so forth, if you're hanging around people who are not also on the path of self-improvement but instead are very laid back and don't have a sense of urgency about their goals, chances are you'll be less inclined to achieve your own goals if you're around them all the time, as you'll feel more relaxed as opposed to being around people who are very dead set in achieving their goals, to the point where you feel self-conscious being around them and the pressure to also work on and improve yourself. Think about the times you've been around people who have been a positive influence to you compared to the people who have been the opposite. Some may make you feel comfortable about your bad decisions, whereas others will make you feel the opposite, and this is where you need to decide who the right people are to keep around you. Number 3, the path of hedonism or the pursuit of cheap dopamine. When working on your goals every day, sometimes it can get really boring. For example, if you have a graphic design business where you create marketing graphics for businesses, although you might enjoy it, it can be boring compared to other things you enjoy and do for fun. So what I'm trying to get at by saying is that if you're, for example, always playing video games, watching your favorite shows, hanging out with your friends, or going on nights out, when it comes to returning back to, let's say, working for 3 to 4 hours on your marketing material, it can be very boring in comparison. You need dopamine to work on your goals, so if you spend all of it on having fun and blow all of your dopamine, it will be difficult to sit down and go through a work session. Furthermore to this, if you're always having fun, you're constantly distracting yourself. Yeah, you might think having a few hours every day to enjoy to yourself might be harmless, but if done at the wrong time of the day, for example at the start of your day or before carrying out your important work, this can lead you to procrastinating or being unproductive simply just because you're no longer looking forward to doing your work anymore. Always chasing a high leads to nowhere. You can have a wild social life, you can spend days on end on video games, you can eat all the best tasting junk food, you can blow money on vacations, cars, clothes and other materialistic things, but all this will lead to, in the end, is an empty void that will never be fulfilled. There will always be another high or another thing that you want to chase, and this pursuit of cheap dopamine can leave you feeling exhausted whilst also distracting you from your goals, and before you know it, you've spent months and years being unfocused, and then you have to work twice as hard to make up for it. It's important to prioritize prioritize your work, and then enjoy yourself from time to time in moderation to keep a healthy balance. Number 4, getting into a rut or a pit of laziness. Whether you've noticed it or not, we've all had this phase where we've been doing nothing but following our desires, feeling mentally and physically low and being in a state of constant procrastination. Think about the times you've just finished an early morning workout or a run and you've got tons of energy left and got a lot of momentum to get through the rest of the day, and you just feel great in general, as opposed to when you've been lying down in your room in the dark for hours on end, not doing anything besides maybe watching TV and eating junk food well into the afternoon. By the time you've realized what you're doing, you've already wasted half the day, and it's really difficult to get up, shake yourself out of it, and actually do the things you're meant to do. It's easy to get into a rut or a pit of laziness whenever you give in to your desire of chasing dopamine and doing the things you want to do that may be bad for you. For example, eating unhealthy food, going out with friends constantly instead of being productive, laying in bed all day long, or just wasting time in general. Once you've gotten into this bad habit, it gets a little difficult to get out of it, and if you do this every day or every week, it will stop you from staying focused on your projects or the work you have in front of you and making genuine progress. It's important to make sure you avoid falling into this by getting an early start every day and prioritizing your work first, as this will give you the momentum to continue being productive throughout the rest of the day, and actually tracking and planning your day, which we will get into in just a moment. So don't start the day rewarding and treating yourself by having fun and enjoying yourself when you haven't done anything yet to deserve it. Do it instead once you've earned it, and this will stop you from procrastination or always getting into a rut. Number 5, freestyling your daily routine and not tracking or planning your day. If you have lots of things to do but just constantly freestyle it and try to wing it every day, although you might have some success, you probably won't be using your time too efficiently, and you might leave yourself prone to wasting your time or getting in a cycle of procrastination as described in the point before. Having a daily timetable and tracking your work can make all the difference in you achieving your goals. Research has shown that we're a lot more productive when we know that we're being monitored or watched and are being held accountable. If you know what you're doing every hour of the day, as extreme as it may sound, you might find that you've got a lot more time than you initially had thought. You can use Google Calendar or Notion to plan and even track your days to see what level of productivity you're getting on a daily, weekly or monthly basis. If you have goals, it's important to break down these goals into actionable daily steps that you can follow. For example, you may be going to the gym 5 times a week, spending 2 hours a day on outreaching for new clients for your business, eating 3 meals a day according to your diet, reading your current book for 20 minutes a day, and so on and so forth. If you can track these daily tasks and then review them monthly, and you can see how consistent you've been, and if you aren't reaching your goals and you can see a pattern of inconsistency, then at least you can point out the problem. If you plan every hour of the day, it helps you stay productive and makes the most out of your day, and helps you carry out these actionable steps as efficiently as possible. Try this out for a month and compare the difference and just see if it works for you or not in comparison to just winging it. Chances are it will at least make some sort of difference. That's it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to leave a like and comment down below on any suggestions for any future videos. Until next time, peace.